Alright, this is the 2020 World Championships for Ascension at Gen Con Online, playing the 10-year anniversary of the original base set here. And I'm already crying a little because he's probably going to take a twofold Ascara on turn 1, and that feels real good. He promised not to stream snipe, so I'm not going to mess around with the little hand screen or anything. If I were him, I would never pass a twofold on the first turn. It's just got way too much potential. I do love me a Wolf Shaman. I actually really love me a Shadow Star, but gotta go for the twofold. I'll take a Wolf Shaman. Oh no. Oh no. A Wolf Shaman to go with his twofold? We'll see. This is not the best start I've had today. I've had actually 6 better starts than this so far today. But we're getting hyped up. Real quick, I'm going to flip over. How many people do we have watching the championships? Ooh, we're up to 14. I think that's a new record for my little stream. I don't get to do that super often. And it doesn't look good on this background, so I'm going to flip it back to Discord. No surprise, he took the Wolf Shaman. I'm going to take the Shadow Star. It does a lot more work than most people give it credit. Every time I draw a militia with it, I'm getting an extra point. It very frequently makes the difference between no monster and a monster that gives you something. That one extra resource means way more than you might expect. I am still in all buying power mode, and I hear my renter coming home, so he's probably going to go check in here in a minute. Just expect that on the stream. Alrighty. Not quite the hand I wanted, but it's close. I don't mind. Oh, that's good. Gotta get that away from him. It fits both our decks. His better than mine because of the copy, but I could always draw the Wolf Shaman and the Runic together. And, oh, I don't know, maybe have a hand with 6 buying power and a draw, and maybe 3 power, which comes with another draw, but he's going to get Muramasa first. So if those 2 draws go in my favor, I might get a Hadron Cannon. Is it a Hadron Cannon? Is it a Hadron Cannon? It's a Hadron Cannon! And not a Mechana Initiate. 6-0, still going.
Are your cats eating yet?
Somewhat. They all appear to have nibbled, but not what they normally would. Okay. They're still upset about the change in food. Okay. Alright, this is also a great time for a mistake of creation, because I can sneak this by, and I'm afraid more of him getting all of this cool stuff than waiting and hoping I get it. He's got a much better chance. So let's go ahead and get rid of the Hadron, or the Workshop. I want it for my Hadron Cannon, but I don't want him to have it even more. Early power is something people underestimate in Ascension. It's something they had to try to deal with early on in the game. Is it viable to do it this way? Is it viable to do it that way? In the actual 10-year anniversary, all of these 3-cost monsters are worth an extra honor now. That will absolutely change the balance a bit, but also more cards are, there's no more of these 5 and 2. I think everything that was a 5 for 2 honor is now 3 honor. They don't want anything to ever sit stagnant in the center row where people are unwilling to buy it. I'm debating between Snapdragon and Lidless. Him having the Lidless to go with his doubler is quite good, but we both have Lifebound, consistency. I have better chance at killing monsters at this point, so I'm gonna stick with my first instinct. Snapdragon's sort of one of my cards. It's one of the things that I'm better known for using. There's a Snapdragon in a Workshop, Everyone's always like, oh, take the Watchmaker's Altar. Like, no, I'll take the Snapdragon. It's more universal. I can pick up points every time I play Lifebound. By the end of the game, I'm going to pick up that difference in 3 points really easily, even if it's just picking up an extra 1 cost card towards the end of the game from the center row. I do absolute value in early Snapdragon way more than a Watchmaker's Altar. So free tip for you all. Not many people would make that determination. Most of them would go, but the Mechanas play off of the Mechanas, play off of the Mechanas, and 5 for 5, and you can't go wrong. No, I'll stick with my Snapdragon. Feel free to tell me if I'm wrong, Glover. I can take it, and I will feel free to dismiss you as not quite perfectly correct on it. Alright, so there are 7 cost cards, like Cetra and Dartha, that I might want here. There are no 8 cost cards, because I already own it, but there are a ton of Mechana cards. So I'm going to take the draw first, and see if I can flip a Mechana card. It's still relatively early. There's a lot of honor in the pool. The Arbiter will still fit into my deck quite nicely. The Initiate and the Temple Librarian. There's the Grand Design I was really hoping to flip a minute ago. Came a little late. Maybe he'll have a bad draw and I'll be able to get to it. I have 4 runes showing in my hand in 1 draw. And then I have 3 power. So if I can draw 2 power or 2 runes, which is not overly likely unless I can get a Wolf Shaman, a Lycanthrope, some kind of combo, or just a normal Mystic. He's probably going to banish Grand Design and buy Rocket Courier. Banishing Grand Design, buying Rocket Courier. Banishing Grand Design, buying Rocket Courier. Vice versa. Banishing Rocket Courier, buying Grand Design. Because he has 5 power to kill the Wind Tyrant. Wait for it. Wait for it. 2 more power. 2 more power. He's got the 6. He wouldn't have left the Grand Design otherwise. Not the way I thought he'd do it, but still absolutely works. Buys the Grand Design, and the Rocket Courier came back. Alright, I did in fact buy a Mystic. I did in fact have everything I need to buy that Grand Design. I'm debating here actually. The Rocket Courier is good and effective, but my deck is not hitting its power spikes just yet. It is going to start getting thin, and there are a ton of high cost monsters left. All of the 5s basically are left. Ozaya is amazing at that. He's got a Burrower Mark. I have to take the Rocket. I don't want to. I don't want to at all. I want to take Ozaya the Peerless. I think it's the scarier threat. But just letting him Grand Design, Rocket Courier, and a Burrower Mark, there's just too much potential for him to swing the game. Alright, which construct do you think I'm going to lose? He did in fact kill it. If I keep my Snapdragon, I have extra reach buying every turn, and I get an extra point when I play this Wolf Shaman. The Hadron Cannon's at least as good as the Shadow Star, so it's the Shadow Star going away. He must have a very questionable hand again. He doesn't have his doubler in hand, does he? Every time he has the twofold, he really thinks through how to use it. But it's not in his hand. Oh, he's got a staff in front of him, doesn't he? Oh, he's got to debate, do I use the staff? Oh, you jerk! You've learned from me. That is one of my moves. You have a very good arc on your deck. You have a very good likelihood of if you can hammer this game home before I start doing big things, you'll be in just fine shape. So I have 3 apprentices down here, and it says I have 7 left if I can trust it. I think that's plenty that I can get rid of this militia and draw some junk. See where we are when I use my Arbiter of the Precipice. 1 extra point this turn versus 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 to spend. I'm definitely buying Osiah and Seer of the Forked Path. So I only need 8. I'm going to start by putting those on the table. Make sure I counted it right. And it's a good thing I saved that extra power, because now I can do this. The Tablet of Time's Dawn is easily the thing that scares me most out there. That extra turn can leverage into a lot of useful effects. I will go ahead and hate on my second militia, since I kept the first one and let him live another turn. For constant power. It's a very nice construct combo. If he keeps using that staff, I'm going to be a little annoyed with him. But that is why I got rid of the militia, because it's far less likely to keep flipping monsters. It's also why I value Osiah the Peerless so much, because I need this game to kind of morph into the economy to stay ahead. I think right now I am still ahead, but I'm not ahead by much. If I wanted to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 6 is 14, 15, 17, 21, 24, and he's got 6 cards I haven't seen. He is in fact going to keep using that staff. Good thing is I know how to work with that, because I too can play that strategy by buying my own staff. I don't want to risk flipping anything, but I don't want to waste the heavy infantry either. I think it'll be that tight. So which cards have I not seen? 1. He bought another Mystic, so 27, 28, 29. He's somewhere in the 30 points of deck value. And then I have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. I have 32 in deck value. He's going to buy points again. I think I'm literally up by 3 points right now. I do go second, and I think that's going to make all the difference in the world if I pull out Game 7 in a row. Well, Game 7-ish in a row. I played 2 demo games in between breaks, and I lost both of them. They weren't these sets, but I still lost both of them. Alright, I need to go for the lidless and a couple of cultists. So what did he buy last turn? He just used his staff, didn't he? So all direct points, no deck value increase. I bought an ascetic for an extra 2. I'm just sort of in the background keeping track of deck value now. That way I can tell you how close I think it is. This is a very good hand for me. I have plenty to spend. I have lots of 1s to flip if he doesn't flip them. And then I have an Osiah that almost certainly can do some smackdown. Do I have any more draws coming up in my deck? I have a Temple Librarian. I really hope... no, I have 3 draws in my hand. So I have to make a choice once I get through this hand on, do I keep drawing and shuffle now, or do I leave a card unplayed? I guess I could always use the Arbiter on the Temple Librarian. It's not ideal, but there are turns where that's a better move. What has he bought this turn while I wasn't paying attention? Nothing yet. He's killed a thing. And then he bought a Void Thirster. That's a really good plan given his constant power thing. Alright. We are fishing for a Sea Tyrant. Can I hear it? Sea Tyrant! Well, it's not bad. I still want to fish for a Sea Tyrant. Sea Tyrant! Alright, Arbiter. Doing it this way. I have 5 power right now for this Wind Tyrant. So what I'm going to do is get rid of things that I don't want to see. And honestly, I don't even know what I don't want to see. Everything out here sort of works for me right now. Alright, I have enough in actual power to kill a Sea Tyrant, so if I get lucky on the flip, I don't have to wait for it. I need to flip for a Sea Tyrant, I need to flip for a Sea Tyrant, and now I have 9 left, so I can still flip 2 more times for a Sea Tyrant. Do I want to risk it on the Trickster's not going to get me a better return on points anyway. Well, I guess I take it. Arha Initiate. Take it. Lifebound Initiate. And this turn I have added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I bought something else before the thing. I bought maybe 6 or 7 worth of stuff. He bought 4 last time. Also, did I just see a Svi in the chat? Hi, Joe! You get to come to a world championship with me for once. This is my 7th game without a loss, so we'll see. I think the score is about 57 to 69 in my favor. Doing that back of the envelope math actually makes me feel a lot better right now. Well, I won 6 games in a row, and I'm in quarterfinals, so this is a best of 3 all the way to the top. Actually, I did not confirm it was best of 3 anywhere. I assume it's best of 3 for the whole rest of the thing. It will certainly be disappointing if I find out that it's one and done. Not that I'm not going to win this one. Move to the top 8. Each where it'll be best of 3. Yeah, it should be best of 3 for everything. I think I've got this one, so I'm not as worried about that aspect. But this is where I close it out. The math says I've won, so I should go with it. Best thing I can do is fish. It's the same anyway. Alright, so my guess was him being at like 62 and me being at like 70 something. Fairly close. That is game 1 of the series. Now we can hit rematch and see what he's got left in the tank. I'm just going to keep it as one running single recording. Hopefully that doesn't make me feel bad later. Alrighty. Oh, sir. You remember those choices you were asking me about in chat? When you see these 5-cost cards, which one do you grab? Well, I have to make that choice. Because he has the 4-1 split, so he can't grab any of this. I will grab the Snapdragon. Since he went for the heavy, and since he went for that Seer, which honestly, you almost have to grab a Seer of the Fork Path against me just to keep me from having it. I have won more games of Chronicles of the Godslayer by having Seer of the Fork Path than I think any other person alive. I absolutely love that card. I will drop everything to grab it. Very few times will I not prioritize it. And now he's going to get rid of the fly trap. Nope, he's more afraid of the extra turn. Shouldn't be afraid against the extra turn with me. I take it as soon as I get it in play. I don't risk having a dead draw a second time when an ill-timed construct killer comes up. I just pop it right away. Doesn't want me to have a twofold with the second banish in the same turn. I'm very happy with this because now I have a Snapdragon and a fly trap. This is how I like games to start. Wouldn't say no to say, I don't know, Arbiter of the Precipice right now. But my next two cards are a Snapdragon and a Militia. I wanted the Militia in this hand. No, I'm going all in on buying power for a bit. There are 3 epic cards out here. I want to get to them first. There's both my Militia out. He's probably going to get rid of the Grand Design. Since I passed on the Militia, he's almost certainly afraid of that. Bye-bye, Grand Design. I had designs for you, but I guess we also get to match. When this is done and he gets to rewatch the video, he can ask himself, did I do what Turtle would have done? And in this case, yes, you did. Earlier, it was a little bit different than what I would have done, but completely understandable. I don't think you've made anything that I would call an error. But now that both of my Militia are out, I can't help but draw all runes, and that's a minimum of 6 for my hand. Emery 1 with the Void fixes all of my long-term problems with not having enough power. 4 on a single card is absolutely a beast. Will he get rid of the Hadron, or the Emery, or the Void Thirster? I want all of them. He's probably going to get rid of the Hadron. He's still mostly afraid of me putting my buying power down. I would have gotten rid of Emery, but that's only because I would have seen both Mystics over here in my discard pile. That's 1 Mystic left. He couldn't really know what my hand was going to look like, but the chances that I could get the Hadron Link device were way lower than my chances of getting Emery, and then I can start competing with him for these monsters. Between the Snapdragon and now a Void Thirster, I have a lot of ways to sneak extra honor in just through my constructs, not through any particular fault of his. I just get a little honor here, I get a little honor there. I would have bought Emery even if I had 7. You are absolutely right, Gary. Even if I had drawn that last Mystic, I still would have. Now here's a good question. Do I kill the Sea Tyrant to protect myself in advance, or do I kill the Mistake of Creation, control the center row, and get rid of a card in my discard pile? And the answer is probably control the center row. That is the most important thing to me, assuming that nothing flips that says, hey, you need 3 more runes in your hand, Joe. Speaking of things that flip that say you need 3 more runes in your hand, Joe, the Grand Design is now screaming, you need 3 more runes in your hand. So, now I do. He's doing a really good job overall of attempting to play like me. It's actually, when we talk about this game afterwards, I bet you the exact words out of his mouth is, I tried to think, all the games I've seen you make a decision like this, we've played hundreds of them, what did I see you do? And I tried to replicate it. It's exactly how my in-person players do it too. Chester's very well known for, well, if I want to win, I just try to play like you. If I don't really want to win and I have fun, I do my own thing and I buy everything Mechana all the time. Now, what's he gonna do with that? I'm surprised. I think monsters and more honor quickly is what gets him back into this game. The long-term arc, I still have more buying power in my deck than anything else. I think I have the advantage in a build kind of game. Now I have to decide, is that Arbiter worth it, or is the honor value 2 more on the Druids and stacking my deck worth? How many things do I have that draw? I have a Witch and a Wolf Shaman. I have several ways to manipulate that. There's not a lot of arc left to this game. It's going to be 2 hands before I shuffle. I'd play the Arbiter maybe once, twice. I'm going to go with the Druids and hope I can stack the deck and draw into what I need. At the very least, 2 honor now versus 1 extra draw later. It's not a huge deficit to make that choice, which is one of the reasons both of those cards got changed in the 10th Anniversary Edition. The Druids of the Stone Circle now can acquire heroes that cost 4 or less, making them more interesting, and Arbiter becomes a 5 cost with 3 honor, making him far more interesting and much less likely to be a turn 1 Cascade for the win. Alright. What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? Well, I've got enough to kill anything. I have 2 constructs, so the Sea Tyrant would protect me from 1. But let's just be perfectly honest. Muramasa. I'm not passing a Muramasa, and I feel bad that the Burrower mark came right there. That was dirty. That was very dirty. Now, I did not get the Druids with a draw. I was hoping to have a draw in here so I could stack a heavy, draw it immediately, kill a monster, set off my Void Thirster, have a really fun day with that. As far as the Mechana Constructs go, we have 2 of the highest Mechana Constructs in the discard pile, a 3rd in the middle. So there's 1 Burrower Mark, there's 1 Rocket Courier, there are both the Watchmaker's Altars, a Grand Design, and a Hadron Cannon left. That's not super great for me. I'm going to go for the Devil I Know, and I'm going to keep my Void Thirster. I'm going to start stacking power, and we will see what happens. I do think that my deck value is good enough to keep me ahead here. I have not been keeping the direct count, so maybe I start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in his discard pile. Got plenty of cards left to see. I'm just going to watch what joins his discard pile here. Alright, so his discard pile is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He's got 15 in his discard pile on the deck honor, plus 8 more cards I don't know about. I know what a couple of them are. In fact, now that I think about it, there are a couple very useful cards in his deck that I have not yet seen. Whew. Protect my construct or risk the steal. You know what? I think I'm ahead enough. I'm just going to protect my constructs. I'm going to dink and dunk my points. And we will see. Now, will he steal Muramasa? That would be a big turn. Nope. That apprentice was not what he wanted. Alright. Moment of truth. Am I still undefeated for the day? Arha Initiate. Shadowstar. Poke for a draw. Nothing important is going to flip. I'll just take it because. And game over. That is still an undefeated 8-0 day. Now we just have semifinals and finals left. I'm having a pretty good day. Hopefully you guys are enjoying watching this. I feel like there's going to be an epic letdown for me here somewhere. But at the very least, I'm making some store credit. I'm having a lot of fun. You guys are... Oh, I have James again, huh? Good times. Let's go update the thing. Nope, already done it. And already ready to go. So let me break the recording.